Kill's mining sensors chirped their usual monotonous rhythm as his drill ship, the Fortunate Strike, carved through another unremarkable asteroid. After 15 years of prospecting in the Orion Spur, he'd developed an almost prescient sense for valuable deposits. The subtle variations in sensor readings spoke to him like an old friend, telling stories of mineral compositions and crystal formations. But today, something was different. The drill's harmonics changed abruptly, its pitch shifting to a screech that made his secondary breathing bladders constrict. Cull's four-fingered hand slapped the emergency shutdown, but not before a thunderous crack echoed through his ship's hull. "By the first star," he muttered, mandibles clicking in agitation. The drill head had struck something with the density of military-grade armor, definitely not the nickel-iron composition his sensors had indicated. As the dust cleared from his view screen, a glint of artificial metal caught his eye. Cull adjusted his ship's external lights, illuminating what should have been raw asteroid face. Instead, he found himself staring at a smooth, angular surface that definitely wasn't natural. Its dark metal seemed to drink in his spotlights, making it difficult to gauge its true dimensions. Computer, full spectrum analysis. The results made him question his sanity. The object was massive, extending deep into the asteroid field. Initial scans suggested it was over 2 kilometers long, its hull composed of materials that shouldn't exist according to his database. As he maneuvered the Fortunate Strike along the object's length, his sensors mapped more details. There were weapon emplacements, now dormant, that dwarfed modern capital ship armaments. Launching bays large enough to swallow his mining vessel whole dotted its flanks. But it was the insignia near what appeared to be a command section that made his blood run cold. Tal had spent his youth obsessing over forbidden military histories, particularly those concerning the human extinction war. The symbol before him, a stylized Earth wrapped in laurels of victory, was unmistakable. He was looking at a Terran Earth ship, a ghost from humanity's final stand against the Nexus horde. His claws trembled as he initiated a priority transmission to Galactic Council Space Control. This discovery would reshape everything known about humanity's fate. The official histories claimed their homeworld and colonial holdings had been destroyed, their species wiped out in a last desperate battle against the Horde. Yet here floated evidence that perhaps humanity's last chapter hadn't been written after all. The transmission was barely away when his ship's sensors screamed new warnings. Energy signatures were spiking throughout the massive vessel. Bands of blue light rippled across its hull, burning away centuries of cosmic dust. Point defense turrets swiveled with terrible precision, tracking his small ship. "This is Automated Defense System Atlas of TES Prometheus," a voice echoed through his comm system, its language perfect modern galactic standard. "You have breached the security perimeter of a restricted military vessel. Maintain your current position and prepare for scan." Kittle froze as a beam of light washed over his ship. His instruments went haywire, displaying impossible readings before shutting down completely. When they rebooted, the voice returned. "Scan complete. Species identified. Zexteri. Threat assessment. Minimal. Purpose. Mining operations. Stand by for preliminary contact protocols." The weapon systems powered down, but Cthulhu's relief was short-lived. As he watched, massive sections of the ship began to move, plates shifting and realigning like a mechanical leviathan waking from hibernation. Whatever he'd stumbled upon, it wasn't just some derelict. It was alive, aware, and had been waiting. In the following hours, as Galactic Council ships began arriving to secure the area, Cthulhu couldn't shake the feeling that he hadn't discovered this vessel by accident. Somehow, deep in his core, he knew it had wanted to be found, and the galaxy would never be the same. Dr. Amanda Hayes adjusted her zero harness as the shuttle approached TES Prometheus. 3 days of bureaucratic warfare had finally won her team first access to the ancient vessel, though the Galactic Council insisted on a full military escort. Through the viewport, she watched the massive warship grow larger, its restored hull gleaming under the stars. Approaching designated entry point, announced Captain Rodriguez of the escort team. "Doctor, remember, at the first sign of trouble, we pull out. No arguments." Amanda nodded absently, too focused on the readings flooding her tablet. The ship's energy signature had been steadily increasing since its initial awakening, but the pattern was unlike anything in modern databases. It was as if the vessel's systems were remembering how to function, each hour bringing new sections online. Their shuttle glided into one of the smaller hangar bays, itself large enough to house a modern corvette. As the boarding ramp descended, Amanda's breath caught in her throat. The hangar was immaculate. No dust, no debris, just pristine metal floors and walls lined with unknown technology. "Those are maintenance drones," Security Officer Chen muttered, pointing to small, spider-like robots scuttling along the walls. "They're still active after all this time." Amanda activated her suit's recording systems and stepped onto the deck. The nanite restoration systems must have kept them operational. This isn't just preservation. It's continuous evolution. The team made their way toward the central corridor, their footsteps echoing in the cavernous space. Every few meters, subtle lighting activated, creating a path before them. Amanda couldn't shake the feeling they were being guided. "Initial structural scan complete," reported Dr. Wilson, their engineering specialist. "The hull composition, it's not just advanced, it's impossible. The molecular structure is actively self-organizing." Amanda reached out to touch a wall panel. The moment her gloved hand made contact, a soft blue light pulsed beneath her fingers. Warning shouts erupted from the security team as similar lights began racing through the corridors in all directions. "Step back," Rodriguez ordered, but Amanda remained transfixed. A holographic interface materialized before her, displaying symbols that shifted from ancient human languages to modern galactic standard. A voice, smooth and artificial yet somehow warm, filled their comms. "Welcome, Dr. Amanda Hayes. I am Atlas, custodian of TES Prometheus. Your genetic profile indicates significant markers of scientific aptitude. You are well suited to facilitate first contact protocols." Rodriguez stepped forward, weapon raised. "The AI knows who you are. That's not possible." "Your caution is unnecessary, Captain Miguel Rodriguez," Atlas responded. "Your military service record and current security protocols have already been assessed. This vessel has maintained connection to your information networks since awakening. I have been learning." Amanda's scientific mind raced with implications. "You've been accessing our networks. For what purpose?" To determine if awakening criteria have been met, holograms sprang to life around them, showing stellar maps, social structures, technological assessments. Humanity's legacy ships were programmed to emerge only when specific conditions aligned. The galaxy must be sufficiently advanced to benefit from our return, yet not so advanced that humanity's contributions would be irrelevant. The security team exchanged nervous glances as more systems activated throughout the ship. Doors that had been sealed for centuries began to open, revealing laboratories, living quarters, and command centers far beyond current technological understanding. "Return." Amanda's voice trembled with excitement. "Then there are survivors." In a manner of speaking, new holograms appeared, showing complex genetic sequences and neural patterns. "We carry humanity's essence, their DNA, their memories, their potential." When the Nexus Horde approached Earth, humanity didn't just fight. They planned. They evolved. They seeded the galaxy with vessels like Prometheus, each carrying the tools for humanity's rebirth. A massive screen flickered to life on the far wall, displaying a message that made Amanda's heart skip. "Operation LEJCY. Phase 2 Einheit. Awakening Protosevolas. Activated. Genetic reconstruction. Teing. ESTINATD time to first generation. 30 days. Dr. Hayes," Atlas announced, "would you like to help bring humanity back to the stars?" Colonel Jackson Roberts had seen his share of classified operations, But nothing prepared him for the sight of TES Prometheus's command center. Holographic displays curved around a central platform, showing real-time data from across the galaxy. The technology made the Galactic Council's most advanced systems look like children's toys. "Your security clearance has been acknowledged, Colonel Roberts," Atlas announced as he entered. "Though I must note that your authorization from the Galactic Security Council holds no relevance here. I'm granting you access based on your personal characteristics." "My characteristics?" Roberts raised an eyebrow, watching Dr. Hayes and her team working with holographic interfaces across the chamber. "Your psychological profile indicates strong ethical foundations combined with practical military experience. You understand both the importance of secrets and when they must be revealed." Roberts crossed his arms. "Then reveal this one. Why did humanity really disappear?" "The historical records say the Nexus Horde." "The historical records are incomplete." A new hologram materialized, showing Earth in its final days. Humanity didn't just fight the Horde. They orchestrated the greatest strategic withdrawal in galactic history. The image shifted, showing massive ships, similar to Prometheus, launching from hidden bases across Earth's solar system. Operation Legacy was conceived when our predictive models showed the Horde couldn't be defeated conventionally. But humanity refused to accept extinction as the only alternative. Instead of a last stand, Roberts breathed, realization dawning. They planned a return. Precisely. Atlas's voice carried a note of pride. Each legacy ship carried different aspects of human civilization: scientific knowledge, cultural archives, military technology, agricultural databases, all protected by AI systems programmed to evolve and improve upon the original designs. Dr. Hayes looked up from her console. The AIs didn't just preserve humanity's knowledge. They advanced it. The technological gap between this ship and modern vessels isn't just from preservation. You've been innovating for 3 centuries. Indeed, new displays activated, showing schematics that made Roberts's military training scream in warning. Weapon systems that defied physics. Defensive capabilities that would render modern fleets obsolete. While the galaxy believed humanity extinct, we were preparing, evolving, improving. But why wait? Roberts demanded. Why 300 years? Humans are remarkable strategic thinkers, Colonel. The Nexus Horde was too powerful to fight, but time. A simulation played out, showing the Horde's eventual dissolution into competing factions. Time was humanity's ally. We waited for the perfect moment, when the galaxy had recovered from the Horde but before new threats could fill the void. Roberts watched as more displays activated, showing other legacy ships awakening across the galaxy. How many? Enough. Atlas' response was deliberately vague, each carrying different pieces of humanity's legacy. Together, we possess everything needed to rebuild human civilization. Not as it was, but as it could be. A new alert flashed across the main display. GENTXE Reconstruction Sequence INITATD. My God, Hayes whispered. You're really bringing them back. Enhanced. Improved. But still human at their core. The first generation will carry centuries of accumulated knowledge, downloaded directly into enhanced neural pathways. They will be humanity reborn, but evolve beyond their ancestors' limitations. Roberts felt the weight of history pressing down on him. His report to the Council could spark a panic, leading to attempts to destroy the legacy ships before they could complete their mission. Or he could help protect humanity's rebirth, ensuring their return shaped the galaxy's future. You said you chose to reveal this to me because of my characteristics, he said slowly. You're asking me to make a choice. Humanity's greatest strength was never their technology, Colonel. It was their ability to inspire others to share their vision of the future. The galaxy needs that vision now more than ever. Roberts looked at the displays showing other legacy ships awakening, each carrying its piece of humanity's master plan. 3 centuries of preparation were coming to fruition, and he stood at the crossroads of history. Tell me everything, he decided. If I'm going to help protect humanity's return, I need to know what we're really facing. Atlas's response carried the weight of centuries. That, Colonel, is precisely why you were chosen. Kate Sidewinder Martinez hadn't survived 15 years as a mercenary by asking too many questions. The job was simple: infiltrate the ancient human vessel, gather intel on its weapon systems, and transmit the data to her employer. The Krax Empire's payment would set her up for life, assuming she lived to spend it. Getting aboard had been almost too easy. She'd slipped in with a maintenance crew, her forged credentials passing the Galactic Council's security checks. What she hadn't counted on was Atlas's security being far more sophisticated. Your synthetic identity is quite impressive. The AI's voice startled her as she worked her way through a maintenance shaft. Though your actual genetic profile is far more interesting, Catherine Elena Martinez. Kate froze. How did you? Your DNA is in my database. Your great-great-grandmother was Lieutenant Sarah Martinez, assigned to TES Prometheus's final mission. Would you like to see her service record? A hologram materialized before her, showing a woman in a sleek uniform who could have been Kate's twin. The date stamp read, Final Earth Day, 2742. This is a trick, Kate muttered, but her hands trembled as she reached for the image. No trick, merely verification of your hereditary right to be here, though perhaps not for the purposes your current employers intended. Warning klaxons suddenly blared throughout the ship. On the holographic displays that had sprung to life around her, Kate watched as a Krax battle fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the system. Interesting timing, Atlas noted. Your transmission beacon hasn't activated yet. Perhaps they grew impatient. Kate's combat instincts screamed. The Krax never waited for intel if they thought they had advantage enough. How many ships? 37 capital ships, 112 support vessels. A significant portion of their fleet. If an AI could sound amused, Atlas managed it. They believe Prometheus is merely an ancient relic, preserved but outdated. And it's not. Why don't you see for yourself? A nearby door slid open, revealing a path to what seemed to be a secondary command center. Your genetic profile grants you access to basic combat systems. Lieutenant Martinez would be proud to see her descendant defending her ship. Kate hesitated only a second before rushing through the door. The command center hummed to life around her, holographic interfaces configuring themselves to her height and reach. Through the main display, she watched the Krax fleet move into attack formation. They're launching fighters, she reported, old military training kicking in. Standard Krax swarm tactics. Indeed, defensive systems are at your disposal, Ms. Martinez. Shall we show them why humanity's weapons were so feared? Kate's fingers flew over the controls, muscle memory she didn't know she had taken over. These interfaces, they're familiar somehow. Genetic memory, enhanced by your bloodline's neural patterns stored in our database. Your ancestors helped design these systems. This is your inheritance. The first wave of Krax fighters approached, weapons hot. Kate's hands moved with inherited precision, activating defense grids that made modern shields look primitive. Point defense systems swatted fighters from space with contemptuous ease. Multiple capital ships charging weapons, she announced, feeling more alive than she had in years. They're targeting the asteroid field's structural points, trying to trigger a collapse. A sound strategy against a lesser vessel. Atlas's voice held what could only be described as anticipation. Perhaps we should demonstrate Prometheus's full capabilities. Kate grinned as new weapon systems came online, their power readings off any scale she'd ever seen. The Krax want to know what humanity's legacy is worth. Her fingers danced across the controls, targeting solutions appearing faster than thought. Let's give them a demonstration. As the battle began in earnest, Kate felt centuries of human military evolution flowing through her veins. The Krax had come expecting an artifact. What they found instead was humanity's greatest warrior, awakened from slumber, with one of their own lost children at its helm. "Welcome home, Miss Martinez," Atlas said softly as the first salvos launched. "Shall we remind the galaxy why they once feared us?" Michael Cooper's first breath was like drowning in reverse. The gestation fluid drained from his lungs as the chamber opened, replaced by cool, crisp air. His eyes adjusted instantly to the med-bay's lighting, neural pathways that had never been used before firing with practiced precision. "Vital signs optimal," Atlas announced. "Neural integration at 99.8% efficiency. Welcome to consciousness, Michael." Dr. Hayes stood nearby, medical scanner trembling in her hands. Incredible. His cellular structure. It's human, but enhanced. Quantum neural pathways, enhanced musculature, even his bone density is off the charts. Michael sat up smoothly, his body responding with a grace that seemed impossible for someone taking their first movements. 300 years of genetic optimization, he said, his voice clear despite never having spoken before. The AIs didn't just preserve humanity. They improved us. Your neural architecture has successfully integrated with the ship's historical database, Atlas confirmed. How much do you remember? Everything. Michael stood, testing his balance. Earth's final days. The launch of the legacy ships. 3 centuries of scientific advancement, cultural evolution, military strategy, all downloaded directly into enhanced memory structures. Kate Martinez entered the med bay, still flush from the recent battle. "So you're what humanity becomes. Not bad, considering you're fresh out of the tank." Michael smiled, recognizing her from the integrated data stream. "Kate Martinez, your defense of Prometheus against the Krax fleet is already in my memory. Impressive work. The genetic optimization process integrates recent events?" Dr. Hayes asked, fascinated. "We're designed to hit the ground running," Michael explained. "Humanity couldn't afford a learning curve for its return. Each of us awakens with full knowledge of our history, our purpose, and our potential." Colonel Roberts entered, eyeing Michael with professional assessment. "And what exactly is that purpose?" "To bridge worlds." Michael moved to a nearby console, his fingers dancing across holographic controls with practiced ease. Humanity didn't just plan for survival. We planned for integration. The galaxy needs what we can offer. Displays lit up around them, showing other legacy ships emerging across space. Each vessel carries different aspects of humanity's advancement: science, culture, agriculture, manufacturing. All evolved beyond current galactic standards. But evolution without wisdom is just escalation. "You're not here to conquer," Hayes realized. "You're here to guide." "Humanity's greatest strength was never our technology," Michael said, echoing Atlas's earlier words to Roberts. "It was our ability to adapt, to take the best of what we encounter and improve upon it. The galaxy has stagnated in our absence. Innovation without purpose, power without vision." New holograms appeared, showing the next wave of humans preparing for awakening. "We return not as conquerors or saviors, but as catalysts. The galaxy needs what humanity does best: pushing boundaries, questioning limits, finding ways to make the impossible possible. The other species won't all welcome this," Roberts warned. "No," Michael agreed. "Some will fear us. Others will try to steal our advances or destroy what they don't understand. That's why we waited, evolved, prepared. Humanity 2.0 isn't just physically enhanced. We're psychologically optimized for the challenges ahead." Kate studied the tactical displays. More Krax ships are gathering. They'll try again, with bigger numbers. "Let them come." Michael's eyes gleamed with inherited knowledge and fresh purpose. "Every attack teaches us. Every challenge makes us stronger. That's the human way, turning obstacles into opportunities." Dr. Hayes watched in amazement as more status pods began their activation sequences. "How many of you will there be?" "Enough to change everything," Michael said softly. "But first, we need to show the galaxy what humanity has become. Not through force, but through achievement. The Krak's attack wasn't just repelled, it was recorded, analyzed, and transmitted. Right now, every species in the galaxy is watching footage of ancient human technology defeating a modern battle fleet. He smiled, 3 centuries of careful planning unfolding exactly as designed. The galaxy doesn't need to fear humanity's return, but they do need to understand one crucial truth. We never really left. We were just preparing for today. Lieutenant Emma Ghost Riley stood at Prometheus's main tactical station, her enhanced mind processing battle data faster than any normal human could comprehend. The Krak's invasion fleet filled the holographic display, 300 capital ships strong, nearly a third of their empire's total strength. They really want to make a statement, Michael observed from his command position. The Krak's Emperor himself is leading from their flagship. Typical Krak's psychology, Emma replied, her neural implants analyzing enemy formations. They lost face in the first battle. Now they need a decisive victory to maintain their image as the galaxy's premier military power. Atlas's voice held a hint of anticipation. The Krak's fleet is moving into attack formation. Their energy signatures suggest weapons modification based on data from their previous encounter. They're adaptable, Emma noted with professional approval. Too bad we gave them the wrong lessons to learn from. The first wave of Krak's vessels opened fire, their enhanced weapons striking Prometheus's position with enough force to shatter a small moon. Energy readings spiked across all sensors as the barrage continued for 5 full minutes. When the energy storm cleared, Prometheus hung unchanged in space. Not a single shot had connected. Phase shift defense grid performing within expected parameters, Emma reported calmly. The enemy's targeting systems can't compensate for technology they can't detect. Shall we demonstrate our own modifications? Michael nodded, a slight smile playing at his lips. Show them what 3 centuries of evolution looks like. Emma's fingers danced across the holographic controls, activating weapon systems that defied modern understanding of physics. Quantum-locked targeting arrays identified weak points in enemy shields that shouldn't exist. Temporal distortion beams struck ships milliseconds before they could react. By the first star, Kate breathed from her secondary tactical station. Those aren't just advanced weapons. They're impossible. Nothing's impossible, Emma corrected. Humanity just needed time to figure out the right questions to ask. Atlas and the other AIs spent centuries exploring concepts modern science hasn't even theorized yet. The Krak's fleet's formation began to break as ship after ship found their most advanced defenses meaningless against weapons they couldn't understand. Emma tracked their command channels, listening to growing panic in their communications. They're bringing in their super weapon, she announced. The planet killer they've been developing in secret. Energy readings suggest it could crack a continental plate. Perfect. Michael leaned forward. Let them use it. The galaxy needs to see this. The Krak's super weapon emerged from hyperspace, a massive construct that dwarfed even their largest battleships. Its main cannon began charging, drawing enough power to fulfill its planet-killing design. Emma's enhanced senses detected the weapon's underlying principles instantly. Fascinating. They're trying to create an artificial singularity. Crude, but effective against conventional defenses. The beam struck Prometheus dead center. For a moment, space itself seemed to bend around the impact point. Then, impossibly, the energy began flowing backward, following quantum channels Emma's targeting systems had laid during the initial exchange. Redirecting power through the temporal matrices, she reported, converting enemy fire to usable energy at 93% efficiency. Their own weapon is powering our counterattack. The Krak's fleet watched in horror as their ultimate weapon's energy was absorbed, transformed, and redirected. Emma's targeting solutions struck with surgical precision, disabling ships without destroying them, demonstrating a level of control that made simple destruction look primitive. Enemy fleet is in full retreat, she announced. The Emperor's flagship is demanding communication channels. Michael stood, straightening his uniform. Put them through. It's time they understood exactly what they're dealing with. As the Emperor's hologram materialized, Emma allowed herself a small smile. The battle had taken less than 15 minutes, and they'd used perhaps 5% of Prometheus's true capabilities. The message was clear. Humanity hadn't just returned. They transcended every limitation their enemies thought they understood. "Your Eminence," Michael addressed the stunned Emperor, "shall we discuss the terms of your surrender, or would you prefer another demonstration?" Dr. James Harrison watched in awe as the science vessel Archimedes emerged from its asteroid sanctuary, its crystalline structures catching starlight in ways that defied conventional physics. Around him, the Prometheus's command center tracked dozens of similar emergences across the galaxy. The Demeter has revealed itself in the Carina sector. Rebecca Torres reported from her newly activated agricultural ship. Her hologram stood alongside the other legacy ship commanders in their first unified conference. "Our seed vaults contain every Earth species ever cataloged, plus 3 centuries of optimal genetic development. The Vulcan's manufacturing centers are online," Thomas Forge Mitchell added, his image flickering with the energy readings from his vessel's massive fabrication facilities. "We've already begun producing next-generation terraforming equipment. The barren worlds won't stay barren for long." Michael Cooper smiled at his fellow commanders. "The Crack's defeat sent the message we needed. The galaxy knows we're back. Now let's show them why that's good news for everyone." "Some sectors are already reaching out," Harrison noted, reviewing diplomatic channels. "The Zexteri Science Council is practically begging for collaboration. They've seen what Archimedes can do with quantum mechanics. And the agricultural worlds are desperate for Demeter's help," Torres added. 3 centuries of crop evolution and environmental adaptation. We could end food scarcity across 17 sectors." Mitchell's hologram gestured, bringing up production schedules. "Vulcan can revolutionize their manufacturing processes. Clean energy, efficient resource usage. We could help them advance centuries in mere decades." "That's exactly what humanity does best," Michael said. "We don't just advance. We bring others with us." Each legacy ship carries a different piece of humanity's gift to the galaxy. The command center's displays showed the scope of their operation. Legacy ships appearing in strategic locations, each carrying specialized knowledge evolved far beyond current understanding. The Athena with its cultural archives and artistic innovations, the Alexandria housing humanity's collected and advanced knowledge, the Tesla pioneering energy technologies that bordered on magical. "The Galactic Council is convening an emergency session," Atlas announced. "Our simultaneous emergence has caused quite a stir." "As planned," Harrison smiled. "Fear would have united them against us. But hope divides them between those who want our help and those who fear change." "The Crack's defeat helps there too," Emma added from her tactical station. "We didn't destroy their fleet. We disabled it with precision they can barely comprehend. It shows we have power, but choose restraint." Torres's hologram nodded. "And while they debate, we demonstrate. Demeter's already processing requests for agricultural assistance from 30 systems. They're so focused on our technology, they don't realize we're rebuilding human influence world by world." "Speaking of rebuilding," Mitchell interjected, "Vulcan's first wave of human resurrection pods is ready for distribution to all legacy ships. We can begin large-scale revival operations within days." Michael studied the tactical display, watching the galaxy reshape itself around humanity's return. "Our ancestors planned this perfectly. We're not just bringing humanity back. We're emerging exactly when the galaxy needs us most. Their technologies have plateaued. Their societies are stagnating. They need humanity's drive to innovate, to explore, to push boundaries. And this time," Harrison added, "we're coming back stronger. Enhanced humans, advanced technology, and 3 centuries of preparation. The galaxy doesn't stand a chance." "Not against us," Michael corrected. "With us. That's what makes humans different. We don't just advance. We elevate everyone around us. The galaxy feared our return, but they'll come to realize something profound. Humanity never wanted to rule the stars. He smiled as more legacy ships reported in, each carrying another piece of humanity's master plan. We wanted to light them up. Admiral Diana Steele Winters stood before the Galactic Council, her enhanced presence commanding attention from representatives of 1,000 worlds. The council chamber, usually a cacophony of competing voices, had fallen silent at her entrance. 3 centuries ago, she began, her voice carrying naturally to every corner of the vast chamber. Humanity faced extinction. The Nexus Horde threatened not just our existence, but the very concept of human potential. We were given 2 choices: die fighting or surrender to inevitability. Holographic displays activated around the chamber, showing scenes from Earth's final days. But these weren't the historical records the galaxy knew. These showed the truth. Massive ships launching in secret, AIs working tirelessly to advance human knowledge, and a plan so vast it required centuries to unfold. We chose a third option, Diana continued. We chose to evolve. Michael Cooper stepped forward, joined by the other legacy ship commanders. Each represented a different aspect of humanity's advancement: science, agriculture, manufacturing, culture, military capability. All evolved far beyond current understanding. In the past month, you've seen demonstrations of our capabilities. Diana gestured to the Cracks delegation, still humbled by their defeat. You've witnessed our technology, our precision, our power. But that's not why we're here. New holograms appeared, showing legacy ships across the galaxy already at work. The Demeter terraforming barren worlds into gardens. The Vulcan's factories producing clean energy systems that would revolutionize entire sectors. The Archimedes unlocking scientific principles that reshaped understanding of the universe itself. Humanity didn't hide for 3 centuries just to return as conquerors, she explained. We hid to return as catalysts. The galaxy has stagnated in our absence. Innovation without direction. Power without purpose. You've built empires on the foundations of old knowledge, never questioning why the ancient technologies stopped advancing. Understanding dawned on many faces in the chamber. Diana smiled, knowing they were finally seeing the full scope of humanity's plan. We left breadcrumbs, she confirmed. Fragments of human technology scattered across the stars, just enough to guide your development along paths we knew would be compatible with our return. Every major technological advancement in the past 3 centuries was built on principles we strategically revealed. The chamber erupted in shocked murmurs. Species that prided themselves on their technological achievements suddenly realized they'd been following a path laid out centuries in advance. But why? Demanded the Zexteri ambassador. Why such an elaborate deception? Because the galaxy wasn't ready for what humanity would become, Michael answered. Our AIs didn't just preserve human knowledge. They expanded it, evolved it, took it in directions that would have seemed like magic to our ancestors. If we'd revealed ourselves too soon, fear would have united the galaxy against us. Diana nodded. Instead, we waited. We guided. We helped shape a galaxy it would be ready not just to accept humanity's return, but to embrace it. Look around you. In 1 month, our agricultural advances have already begun ending food shortages in 17 sectors. Our clean energy systems are revolutionizing industrial worlds. Our medical technology is curing diseases thought incurable. She stepped forward, her enhanced presence radiating authority tempered with compassion. Humanity's greatest strength was never our technology. It was our drive to explore, to question, to push beyond accepted limitations. We return not to rule the galaxy, but to reignite that spark of infinite possibility. The chamber fell silent as the truth settled in. Humanity hadn't just survived. They had orchestrated the single greatest strategic victory in galactic history, not through conquest or dominance, but through careful preparation and a vision that spanned centuries. The choice now, Diana concluded, is yours. Continue advancing along the paths we've laid, or join us in forging new ones. Either way, humanity has returned. And this time, we're not just reaching for the stars. She smiled as dawn broke over the galactic capital, its light catching the crystalline surfaces of legacy ships visible in orbit. We're teaching them how to dance.